mean by this? He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in a figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation. You must expect me to tell you how.
He hath an aunt here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
There is much joy in her, even so much that joy cannot show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind of kindness. There are no faces purer than are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Senor Mountanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Ooh!
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the fight. And my aunt's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of his killing.
Oh, faith, niece, you tax Senor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you. I doubt it's not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath hope to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Senor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So if he hath wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. I pray you, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Not very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not near books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right and noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. Oh, God, help noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds ere be cured.
I'll hold friends with you, lady.
Do good, friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
Not till a hot January.
Don Pedro's approached.
Hey, Nonny!
Johnny Nonny! Oh, good Senora Leonata. Oh, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. Oh, I think this is your daughter.
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, ma'am, that you asked him?
Senor Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Senora Leonata be her mother, she would not have her head on her shoulders, for all Messina is like her as she is.
I wonder that you would still be talking, Senor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Senor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in its presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? For it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart that I have not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women! They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood, I am at your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a connoisseur. But keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Oh, that is the sum of all. Senor Claudio and Senor Benedict, our dear friend Senora Leonata hath invited you all. I told her we shall stay here at least a month, and she hardly prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she's no hypocrite, but prays from her heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonata. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signora Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she's too low for high praise, too brown for fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall the man take you? To go in the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband. Have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hera would be my wife.
Is it come to this? In faith hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
Oh, what secret hath held you here, that you followed not?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he's in love with who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short His answer is, with Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
Oh, amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
Oh, by my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her the most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pluck out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me up in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck out the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign. Here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonata's. Commend me to her and tell her I will not fail her at supper, for indeed she hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God, from my house if I had it,
The 6th of July, your loving friend Benedict.
Hey, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Signor Leonata any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's her only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt prove like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her mother, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this conclusion that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that know his complexion by grief. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
Oh, what need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we will have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her earring prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after, to her mother will I break, and the conclusion is, thou shalt have her. practice, let us put it presently.
How now, sister? Where's my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it, but dear sister, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, but they have good cover, they show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to enroll this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Oh, I cry you mercy, friend. Go you with me, and I will use your skill. Good sister, have a care this busy time.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all, and to fashion a carriage to rob the love of any. In this, though, it cannot be said that I am a flattering, honest man. It must not be denied. I am but a plain-dealing villain. I have been trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do to my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who goes there? Ah, what news, Braccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief upon? Who is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
It is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on harem, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, I was smoking a musty room. Comes me, the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the Ayres, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let's thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross them in any way, I bless myself in every way. You're both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind? Shall we go prove what's to be done?
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
Yeah, he is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then have Senor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and have Count John's melancholy in Senor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, aunt, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a too cursed cow, he sends none.
So, by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You would lie on a husband who hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pennants in earnest of the bear herd, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here is no place for you, maids. So deliver I up my apes, and away with St. Peter to the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and we live as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your mother.
Yes, in faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Mother, has it pleased you? But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Mother, as it pleased me.
Well, niece, I hope to one day see you fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust, to make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marrow? No, aunt, all none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, Harrow, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a sync pace. The first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. The wedding, moderately modest as a measure, full of state and ancientry. And then comes the repentance, with his bad legs falls into a sync pace faster and faster until he sink into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend shrewdly.
I have a good eye, Aunt. I can see a church by daylight.
Oh, the revelers are entering, sister. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
Ooh, and when please you to say so?
When I like your favor. For God defend the lute should look like the case.
Oh, my visor's Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why, then your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better the hearers may cry, Amen.
Oh God, match me with a good dancer.
Oh, amen.
And God, keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
You are Signor Baraccio.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand, up and down. You are he, you are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, mum. You are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my wit out of 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Oh, did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool, only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but the libertines delight in him. And his commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainry. He both angers men and pleases them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he were in the fleet, I would he have boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I will tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders in.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Harrow and had withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you, Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Harrow. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear this ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio!
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, County. In what fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck, like the usurer's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drovier. So they sell bullocks, but did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me? The prince is fool. Ha! It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, the bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, senor, where's the count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord. I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge at a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
Oh, to be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you speak honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon me with such impossible conveyance, that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. But come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service now to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. Fetch you a tooth picker from the furthest inch of Asia. Find you the length of Prester John's foot. I will fetch you a hair off the great champ's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh, come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it to me a while, and I gave him good use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
Oh, you have put him down, lady, you have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Oh, why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think you're blazoned to be true. Though I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair Harrow is won. I've broke with her mother, and her goodwill is obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Harrow, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
Ooh, in faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's gettings. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father had excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Yes. Will you go look to those things I told you of?
I beseech your grace, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
Oh, there is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I have heard Harrow say that she hath often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
Oh, she could not endure hear tell of a husband.
Oh, no.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
Oh, she were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord. My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Doubty Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all its rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 nights. And a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
come, you shake your head at so long a breathing. But I warned thee, Claudio, the time will not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you four will minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And I, my lord.
Ooh, and you too, gentle Hera.
I would do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him, that he is of a noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin so that she falls in love with Benedict. And I, with your three helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in despite of his quick wit and crazy stomach, will fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonata.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hera.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her mistress's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison in that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor by marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hera.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hera and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them. I will endeavor anything.
Go, then. Find me a meet hour to John, Don, Pedro, and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hera loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid that you have discovered this. They will scarcely believe you without trial. Offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hera. Hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hera is absent. And there will appear such a seeming truth in Hera's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this into whatever adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boy!
Senor?
In my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I'm here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife, and now would he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. Now will he lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. Now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of whatever color please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, we'll hear that song again.
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself.
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended. Let us fit the hid fox with the pennyworth.
Oh, come, Balthazar. We'll hear that song again.
Oh, good my lord, tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Oh, because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Now, pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine worth noting.
Oh, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Notes, notes, forsooth, and no thing.
Now divine air, how is the soul ravished? Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hale men's souls out of their bodies?
Men were deceivers ever, one foot on sea, and one on shore. Do not think constant never, and sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny. Converting all
my lord.
No, Faith. Thou singest well enough for a shift.
And you were a dog that should have howled thus. They would have hanged him. I pray God his bad voice bode no mischief. I had as bleak have heard the night raven. Come, what plague could have come after it?
Yea, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Harrow's chamber window.
Oh, the best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonata. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye, stuck on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward appearances seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? With the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion comes so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, pray you? Oh, you amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that Leonata speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
Yet ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So she says, shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
And she now, when she is beginning to write for him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she have written a sheet of paper. I need to help us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
And was reading it over. She found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. $1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her.
I measure him, says she, by my own spirit. For I should flout him if he writ to me, yea, if he loves me, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, her heart tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God, give me patience.
She doth indeed, my daughter says so. And the ecstasy has so much overborne her. My daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It's very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He'd make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. Give her an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
And everything but loving Benedict.
Wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, and I have just cause, being her aunt and her guardian.
I would have, she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have left all other respects and made her half myself. Oh, I pray thee, tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
Words good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known to him, and she will die for her, rather than she bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
Oh, she doth well. If she make tender her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He's a very proper man.
Oh, and he doth indeed have a good outward happiness.
Before God, and I take him to be very wise.
He hath indeed shown some sparks that are like wit.
And in my mind, very valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. And in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise. For either he avoids them with discretion, or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God, howsoever it seems not in him by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go tell Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord.
Oh.
Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Hey, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear more of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her. That will your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport shall be when they hold one in opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see. It will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner. Oh.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Harrow. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why? It must be requited. They say how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am bid to send you to come into dinner.
I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure in the message, then?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a draw withal. You have no stomach, Signor. Fare you well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those things than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say. Any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, mwah, mwah, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, to run thee to the parlor. There thou shalt find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her, I and Ursula walk in the orchard and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her, to listen our purpose. This is thy office, fare thee well in it, and leave us alone.
Make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground. Here are come.
The pleasantest angling's to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So we angle for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then we go near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet fate that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
Oh, they did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprising what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Yes, why you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward. Bare-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, why, nature, drawing of an antique made a foul blot. If tall, a lance, ill-headed. If aloe, and agate, very vilely capped. So, if speaking, why, a vein, blown with all winds, if silent, why a block moved with none, so turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions, as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in silence, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders her to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison life.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man in Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, for shape, forbearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in rapport through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
Benedict. Oh. His excellence did earn it ere he had it.
Yes.
When are you married, madam?
Oh, why, every day. Tomorrow. Go in, I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's alive, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by half. Some cupids kill with arrows and some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorned so much? Contempt, farewell. And maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on! I will requite thee, taming my wild heart in thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve it, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say, I methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant! There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sick, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it!
Hang it.
Hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What, sigh for a toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy which he hath two strange disguises, as to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, or to be in the shape of two countries at once, as a German from the hip down, all slops, and a Spaniard from the old hip up, no doublet. Unless he has a fancy to this foolery, as it appears he hath. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with someone, woman, there is no ignoring old signs. He brushes his hat a-mornings. What should that bode?
Or hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the ornament of his cheek hath already set balls.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's not much to say. The sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is in his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I know what they hear of him.
Nay, his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stop.
Oh, indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Hey, but I know who loves him.
I would know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upward.
Yet this is no charm for the toothache. Old signors, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
Oh, for my life to break with him about Beatrice.
Is even so. Hero and Ursula have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the 2 bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet the Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not, but that appear hereafter, and aim better at me. By that, I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonata's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Oh, disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. You love her then. Tomorrow, wed her. But it would better fit your honor if you changed your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I join, as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So, will you say when you have seen the sequel?
Are you good men and true?
Yep.
Yea, or else for pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
You Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your reading and writing, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend any man. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
What if we won't stand?
Why then, why then, depart and let him go, but take no note of him, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk, get them to bed.
What if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not, then the better answer. You may say that they were not the men you took to them for.
Oh, well, sir, well.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think those that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceful way for you, if you do encounter a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
I've always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
You hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
Well, how if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace. For the ewe that will not answer her lamb when it baas will never hear the calf when he bleats.
It's very true.
This is the end of your charge. You, constable, are to represent the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, that I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for the watch ought to offend no man, and is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Ha 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 ha. Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsel and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, master, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch over Signora Leonata's door tonight. For the wedding being tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
Conrad!
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close, then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet, or a hat, or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He has been a vile thief these 7 years, and he goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vane on the house.
Hear me. Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Harrow's gentlewoman, by the name of Harrow. She leans me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Harrow?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, and swore that he would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation shame her with what he saw our night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand!
Call upon the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever known to the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of him. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters.
To be made bring the form home, that's why I warrant ya.
Masters.
Ever speak. We charge you. Let us obey you. Now go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being take up of these men's bills.
The commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
Of course, my lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well?
Troth, I think your other rabato were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently, if the hair were a thought browner. And your gown's a most rare fashion of faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troths, but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloth of gold and cuts and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
Oh, God, give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceedingly heavy.
Oh, 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband. And bad thinking, do not rest true speaking, I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it be the right husband and the right wife, otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Good morrow, Kai.
Good morrow, sweet Harrow.
Why, how? Now do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Claps into Lido love, that goes without a burden. Do you sing it and I'll dance it.
Ye Lido love with your heels. Then if your husband has stables enough, you'll see he shall lack no barns.
Oh, illegitimate construction! I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill. Hey ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you not be turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, trow?
Nothing, I. But God send everyone their heart's desire.
Oh, these gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maiden stuffed, there's a goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me, God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It's not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus, and lay it in your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There, thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this, Benedictus.
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by our lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good cause, good Meg, and Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Merry lady, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, that it is, lady.
Yes, in truth it is, lady.
What is it, my good friends?
Good old man Verges, lady, speaks a little off the matter. An old man. His wits are not so blunt, God help, as I would desire, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, ah!
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pounds more than this, for I hear as good exclamation of your worship as any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, lady, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken as couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man. He will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it's a world to see. But well said of faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God is a good man, and 2 men ride a horse. One must ride behind. But an honest soul, by my troth he is, as ever to break bread. But all men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
A gift that God gives.
I must leave you.
Mary lady, our watch lady have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Oh, my lady, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good neighbor, go. Get you to George Seacoal. Bid him bring his pen and his inkhorn to the jail. We are to examination these men.
We must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. And here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today under the
Princess, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage. We shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Come, sister, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, Hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, Count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what women may do, what women daily do, not knowing what they do.
Now, interjections? Why then some be of laughing as ah ha 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 ha.
Stand thee by, Sister Frances. Leonata, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonata, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Would you not swear it, all you that see her, that you are made by these exterior shows?
Yes.
But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
My dear, my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonata, I never tempted her with words too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
Seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee! Seeming. I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Oh, is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, I speak not you.
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
They are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Oh God!
Leonata, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince, his brother? Is this his heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that motherly and kindly power you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Harrow? Who can blot out that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Harrow. Harrow itself can blot out Harrow's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
Talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then are you no maid? Leonata, I am sorry you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Why dare not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of? There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, Harrow, what a Harrow hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure in piety and impious purity. For thee, I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all thoughts of beauty into those of harm. And never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
How now, cousin Harrow, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think, Aunt, help! Why, Harrow, why? Aunt, Signor Benedict's sister!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Harrow?
A comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, Harrow. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames? Myself would, on the rearward of reproaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chide I for that frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not, with charitable hands, took up a beggar's issue at my gates, who smirched thus in mire with infamy? I might have said, no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine, in mine I loved, in mine I praised, in mine that I was proud on. So much mine that I to myself, not mine, valuing of her. Oh, she is fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give her foul tainted flesh.
Have patience, please. For mine own part, I am so attired and wonder I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie? Would Claudio lie, who loved her so, that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune. By noting of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Sister, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me, I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, but let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my mother, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. If their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in a frame of villains.
I know not. If they speak but the truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age eat up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends. But they shall find, awaked in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability in means, and choice of friends to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good, but not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail, look for greater birth. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For so it falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whiles we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why, then we rack the value, then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio, when he shall hear she died upon his words, The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not, but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signora Leonata, let the sister advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet, by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should your body.
Seeing that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as a thing I know not. It were possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor do I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
Fair Beatrice, by my sword thou lovest me.
Do not swear it and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Huh. Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Terry, sweet
I am
Beatrice.
gone though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray, let me go.
Beatrice, Terry.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first?
You dare easier be friends with me than to fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of a villain? That hath scorned, slandered, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, God, that I were a man! What bear her in hand until they come to take hands? And then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Beatrice, hear me.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet arrow, she is wrong, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count. Count confect, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend that would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are turned only into tongue, and trim ones too. He is as valiant as Hercules that tells a lie and swears by it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Terry, Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge Claudio. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. Go comfort your cousin. So you hear of me, so think of me. I must say, your cousin is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our whole dissembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that I am, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down Borachio. And your Sira?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master, Gentleman, Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. But write God first, for God defend, but God should come before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false names, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, Sira, a word in your ear, sir. It is thought you are false names. How answer you for yourselves?
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Marry, let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable, I assure
Pray
you.
thee, fellow peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Marry, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the Lady Harrow wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly, and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
That's all. That's all.
And this is more masters than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Harrow was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonardo's. I will go before and show her their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
Off, coxcomb.
God's my life, where's the sexton? Oh, work he here to write the prince's officer down, Protzmann? Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Away!
Oh, dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, he yet not forget that I am an ass. No, villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I'm a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law go to, and a rich fellow enough go to, and one that hath had losses, but hath 2 gowns, 2, and everything handsome about him. Oh, come bring them away. Oh, that I've been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless, as water in a sieve. Give not to me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a mother that so loved her child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine. I pray thee, peace.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my
We
lord.
have some haste, Leonata.
Some haste, my lord? Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, dear lady.
She could right herself with quarreling. Some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs her?
Oh, Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler, thou tush man. Never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept. Save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so deaf me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a woman.
He shall kill 2 of us, and women indeed. But that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir, boy, come. Follow me, sir, boy. I'll whip thee from thy fawning fence. Nay, as I am a woman, I will.
Sister,
content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains who will as well answer a man as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops, hold you content. And well I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple, scrambling, outfacing, fashion-monging boys who lie, dog, and slouch, deprave, and slander.
Sister Antonia.
Come, 'tis no matter, do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentlewomen both, we will not wait your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear ye.
No? Come, sister, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part, almost a fray.
We had like to have had our 2 noses snapped off by some gentlewoman.
Leonata and her sister. What thinkest thou?
I have come to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily. Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent young lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And, I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Well,
You, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall never weigh more reasons in her balance. And you be a cursing hypocrite once. You must be looked at too.
How now? 2 of my brothers been bound? Baraccio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. 6, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I asked thee what they have done. Thirdly, I asked thee what's their offense. 6th and lastly, why are they committed? And to conclude, what you lay to their charge. Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me, for I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who overheard me confessing in the night to this man that Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Harrow. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Harrow's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, and I should rather seal it with my death than repeat it over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs this speech not like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yea, and paid me richly in the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet Harrow, Now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiff. Our sexton hath reformed Senora Leonata of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Senor Leonata, and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. That's when I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in the mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this dear old woman, I would bend under any heavy weight that she'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both possesses the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb. Sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter almost the copy of my child that is dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble madam, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but hath always been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which is indeed not under black and white, this plaintiff, the offender, did call me ass.
Oh.
I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and he borrows money in God's name, for which he hath used so long, and hath never paid, that now men grow hard-hearted, and will lend nothing for God's sake. I pray you, examine him upon that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Why, your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and thank thee.
I leave your worship with an errant knave, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore your worship to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, my lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Harrow.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at thy hand by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below the stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as a greyhound's mouth. It catches.
Yours is as blunt as a fencer's foil, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, put in the pikes with a vice, as they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore shall come. The God of love that sits above and knows me and knows me. How pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Oh, ominous endings. I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Ah, fair Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken, fare you well. Yet, and ere I go, let me go with that which I came, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I shall kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind. Foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. So, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For all them together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good parts to intermingle with them. For which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. For truly, I do suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think, alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Oh, madam, you must come to your aunt. Yonder's old coil at home, it is proved my lady Harrow hath been falsely accused, and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
This is the monument of Leonata. Done to death by slenderest tongues was the Harrow that here lies. Death in guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am done. Now, music sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
high and groan heavily, heavily. Graves yawn and yield your dead till death be uttered.
Now, unto thy bones good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well. Come, let us hence and put on other weeds. Then after to Leonata's will we go.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, sister. You must be mother to your daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Sister Francis, I must entreat your pains, I think.
Oh, to do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them.
What's your will?
My will is your good will may stand with ours, this day to be conjoined in honorable marriage, in which, good sister, I must desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my sister's daughter?
I am.
Call her forth, sister.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
Same as she, and I do give her you.
Why, then she is mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this sister and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy sister, I am your husband, if you'll like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another Harrow!
Nothing certainer. When Harrow died, defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former Harrow, Harrow that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair Harrow's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, sister, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your aunt and the prince and Claudio had been deceived. They swore that you did.
Do not you love me?
Truth, no more than reason.
Why, then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter, then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in a friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love this gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her, for here is a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affectionate competitor.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I'll have thee. By this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers could not flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to anything the world can say against it. Never flouted me for what I have said against marriage. For man is a giddy thing, and that is my conclusion. Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, so that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word. Therefore, play music. Prince, thou art sad. Give thee a wife. Give thee a wife. And no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments. Strike up, pipers!
To Messina.
Come on in, little kitties.
Come
Oh
on
my
in.
goodness. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
everyone.
good morning.
Welcome, welcome. to the
So
circle of your
excited.
life.
The lark. Come on.
Here
man.
they are. Here they are.
There was just like a pile of giant logs, like caution tape around it, and a tarp somewhat over it.
Arlo, log report.
And yeah, the logs are still there. I haven't looked under them yet. I saw the logs again. I resisted pulling up what was under the logs, but that's for another day. It's for another day.
And then I followed this red dump truck around for a while. Just kind of like walked along like slowly behind it.
We're gonna do some qigong today. We're gonna start by placing the ball in the water.
And then on 3, we're gonna do some super aggressive shakes.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3. Super aggressive shakes. Super aggressive, all your body. Make sure you're getting to everything.
There's
a dial there.
Oh, Doc's playing his drum. Get it, Doc. Yeah.
Lovers love the spring. Birds do sing, lovers love the spring. Cannonball, diddy
We're not really sure as we've never tried it on Zoom before, in Messina.
Use a Z word.
Toby's Messina.
Yeah, you have to give Toby a corner now.
I saw it said limited Zoom, so are we gonna have any Zoom or just like
Maybe like over Zoom this weekend, free from Zooms.
Oh, you kept saying the Z word.
Oh man!
Wait, how many times? How many times? I have a tally.
Robin,
Gosh, I owe Toby $1.
No, they're just quarters, so you only owe him 50 cents.
Oh, good. Okay.
Right now, Grace also owes Toby a quarter.
It's improv time, people.
Curtain! Oh, I bet you I love my gorilla husband more than you do.
That's how you love my gorilla husband more than you do.
Such a beautiful morning. Nothing could go wrong, ever.
Oh my God.
May not have a musical instrument, but you know what I do have?
Mm-hmm.
My hands. And you know what those do? They clap.
They clap. They clap. Flog and Grog Greatest Hits, 1972 to 1993.
It's baby back ribs with Sprite with a little bit of root beer. Dunk the baby back ribs in the Sprite with the root beer. No. Eat that. Yum, yum, yum. It's bigger than the moon. It's here.
We gotta run. We gotta go. Come on, quick.
Breaking news. Hugh Jackman has escaped.
Hey guys! It is all curated by me because it makes me sad.
Hello and welcome to the Outback. Today we have actually the wildest news that anyone has ever heard.
So the weather today is fire. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but everything is on fire here.
Farm. Let's hope we both make it out alive, if you know what I mean. But,
is there a risk?
No, there's no risk.
No risk. Never. What? Risk here at farm? No.
Now, seeing on the side of this tracker, farm is spelled quite peculiarly.
7, 4, R, lowercase 3 reversed. It actually says all of that. You'll have to figure that one out. I'm so wonderful to hear that. So wonderful.
You are so wonderful to hear that. Yeah.
No, you are so wonderful.
No, you are, Matt. Oh, wow.
You are darling.
Yo, are we ghosts now?
See if the key works.
It's a little. I don't know if that's. Wait.
Clara stole my egg salad. on the bus. I was standing us here, and none of y'all did anything about it. So, I'm not going to tell y'all.
Look in the dog's ear. I know.
The pit. Do you remember what came out of the pit?
Wasn't it the Kraken of the underworld that lived in fire instead of water?
I, Herman Strink, am the leader of the Homeowners Association in this field. Your lawn isn't quite up to par.
You get a bat and you go, and a ball goes somewhere.
I was coming to have a word with you about Kyle.
I'm Kyle. It was fake mullet.
I approve.
Cowboy Kyle. Everybody loves Cowboy Kyle. Give it up for Cowboy Kyle.
Sorry.
Look at that.
No.
Unsportsmanlike behavior coming from the winner, but yeah.
Oh God! Oh, it's a bloodbath.
The gold medal goes to the newbie prodigy because of Belton's happiness at winning.
Oh, God dang.
What a turn of events.
Hello, sir.
Is this the vegan convention? Like, where am I? I don't
Vegan convention? Are you out?
Started on them vegan.
Disgusting.
Have you considered it's because of all the ghosts?
Drive quickly.
We did it! Patricia, I need the law.
No, I need you to come over here right now. The giant's trying to, cross your fingers on the contract.
Hey, dude,
I think we need to harness the power of friendship.
I think we do. Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
I love you, bro.
I love you, bro.
Oh my God!
Great. Oh my goodness. Infinite dimension. Oh, infinite dimensions.
Well, you know what song we sing when we leave our socks in the sink?
Sock in the sink, sock in the sink. Get that sock out of the sink, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 25th annual Dance Bizaddle.
In my own power, which I have. Beat that, Bob.
Oh my God.
Let's dance, baby.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
I want another chance. I love you, Mom.
Aww.
Ready?
Whoa! The power of compassion. It has set. Yeah, it's beat me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Curtain.